The year is 1758. The American Revolution is 20 years away, and the whole world is embroiled in this global conflict known as the 7 Years' War. They're 3 years in, and in America, a patent has been issued for the first ever one-piece combination of a pencil with an eraser. And in 1758, Robert Robinson writes the words, "To come thou fount of every blessing." We're going to open the scriptures today, and today we're looking at 1 Samuel chapter 7, verses 12 through 14. The context here is the Israelites have just been given this great, glorious victory that the Lord handed to them because they should have just been wiped out. So, starting in chapter 12, or in verse 12. Then Samuel took a stone and set it up between Mizpah and Shen. He named it Ebenezer, saying, "Thus far the Lord has helped us." So the Philistines were subdued, and they stopped invading Israel's territory. Throughout Samuel's lifetime, the hand of the Lord was against the Philistines. The towns from Ekron to Gath that the Philistines had captured from Israel were restored to Israel. And Israel delivered the neighboring territory from the hands of the Philistines. And there was peace between Israel and the Amorites. Now, this is a kind of an obscure passage, and one of the things that's always fascinated me about the hymn, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing," is this very specific reference in one of the verses. In verse 2, we hear this phrase, "Here I raise mine Ebenezer." And it is a passage that it's just so obscure in the Bible that I love the intentionality of the hymn writer here. So let's take a look at this and what it means to have an Ebenezer. So literally, this kind of means stone of help. That's really what an Ebenezer is. And what I like to think about is it's a physical thing that commemorates God's help, that commemorates this divine intervention, this thing that we couldn't have done on our own, but through the Lord's help, it has happened. And when we see this thing, because it's physical, because it's tangible, because we can see it and we can touch it, it becomes something that can remind us very easily that thus far the Lord has seen us through. Thus far the Lord has helped us. So I want you to think about that when you encounter this hymn and when you hear these words, because it's something that I think all of us could use in our daily lives. Musically speaking, this hymn has found homes with a couple different melodies, and the melody that we're going to share today is known as Nettleton, and it's the common melody that you probably will think of if you're in America. But if you're in the UK, they will typically sing this to a totally different melody called Normandy, which maybe is splitting hairs a bit, but it's an interesting fact nonetheless. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep the melody the same, but I am going to reharmonize it a bit. The melody won't change at all, but I'm going to change the chords and what I play underneath it to put it in a minor key, which kind of will give it a little bit more of a plaintive feeling, which I think is appropriate for the season of Lent and this idea that, the longing and the yearning that I see in a lot of the lyrics here that the hymnist has written. So I invite you to sing along this with me. Come thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy praise. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming where by thy great help I've come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy grace, Lord, like a fetter, bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above. So with that in mind, are there any objects in your life, any commonplace thing around you that could become your Ebenezer? Maybe something that you see every day and it reminds you that thus far the Lord has seen you through.